From the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Well, welcome back. It is just about 6:30. Good morning. I'm Devin Fehely.
And I'm Melissa Caen.
An arrest has been made in a fatal hit and run in San Jose. Police yesterday arrested 26-year-old Jesse Alonzo Aguilar. He's accused of hitting and killing a bicyclist last month on the city's east side. The collision happened at Story Road and Jackson Street. Police say that two cars hit that victim, but only the second driver pulled over and called police. The victim has been identified as 44-year-old Jesus Plencarte of San Jose. At Yosemite National Park, a 29-year-old tourist fell to her death. Park officials say Danielle Burnett of Arizona was climbing the half-dome cables on Thursday when she plunged more than 500 feet down steep rocky terrain. The incident is under investigation.
Salvage operations are underway this morning to recover the remains of the Conception dive boat near Southern California's Channel Islands. Officials say the process to raise the boat is complicated and slow. It could take days or even weeks. And now investigators say it appears that the 34 people killed died of smoke inhalation before the fire reached their sleeping quarters. Divers are also looking for the last victim, still unaccounted for. Meantime, boat owners are taking legal action. Truth Aquatics is asking a federal judge to eliminate its financial liability to the victims' families. It's invoking a law from 1851. The burned hulk of the Conception now lays at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Truth Aquatics claims in court documents that the value of the boat is now zero.
The principle behind it is that when a vessel is involved in a maritime casualty, the owner's liability is limited to the value of the vessel and its pending freight and whatever money is due to the vessel after the casualty.
After the event.
After the event.
After the sinking, the catastrophe.
That's correct.
Well, this law could prevent the victims' families from receiving compensation. And Oakland police are trying to make sure we don't see more of this weekend. They are beefing up patrols to crack down on illegal sideshows. Well, just last weekend, police issued 10 citations and towed 4 cars. They say the majority of people arrested or cited came in from out of town.
The city of San Jose is unveiling a first-of-its-kind tool for predicting youth and gang violence. It's an interactive map loaded with information showing crime hotspots and where more city resources can be placed to avoid potential spikes in crime around the city. Green areas are low risk, red are potential trouble spots. City officials say the map also points out dropout rates along with poverty and child abuse rates, even the number of places to buy healthy food.
It's not so much to try to say, well, this neighborhood's bad or this neighborhood's good. It's more or less to help us understand where resources are needed going forward. You'd be surprised how many neighborhoods just need some coaching to really access the system.
This is a live look at the airport right now. Now, starting this morning and for the next 20 days, crews will be removing and rebuilding nearly 2,000 feet of runway 28L. That's one of the principal runways for international arrivals. The airport says that passengers can expect up to 2 hours of delays. And speaking of traveling, San Francisco could see a record high of visitors passing through this year. Marketers with the San Francisco Travel Association are predicting 26.2 million travelers and more than $9.5 billion in spending. And at least 3 million international travelers are also expected.
And if you're wandering around San Francisco's Golden Gate Park at night, be on the lookout. Officials say that 2 mountain lions have been spotted there in recent weeks, one on the west end and the other at Lake Merced.
The Bay Area's newest sports arena is officially broken in this morning, holding its first event yesterday evening. Metallica played with the San Francisco Symphony. The collaboration attracted fans from all over the world to the new Chase Center in San Francisco. But the new arena has very little parking, and people who didn't drive said that getting there wasn't too bad, at least on opening night.
Took a train, and it wasn't too bad. We got here a little bit early.
Traffic was a piece of cake, you know. I haven't been to a lot of sports venues here, but I know it's like I grabbed an Uber. It was super easy. I'd say about 30-40 minutes in the Uber.
From where?
I don't know the neighborhood we're in. Let's call it about 15 minutes away.
Well, outside the Chase Center, protesters projected giant images on the side of the new arena. The Rainforest Action Network says it's taking a stand against JP Chase, the financial institution that paid for naming rights to the new arena. The group accuses JP Chase of financing fossil fuels.
We're sending a message to Chase that is unacceptable, that they're the world's biggest banker of climate change, They're the world's biggest banker, biggest financier of coal, of oil, and of gas around the world, and this needs to stop. And we can see from Hurricane Dorian and all the tragedies that we're having around the world that are all linked to climate change, that we do not have big banks like Chase use our money to destroy the world.
Members of the arena staff reportedly called police over that demonstration, but they were told that it's a public space.
Richmond's police chief is on leave this morning after the officers' union held a no-confidence vote. A city official confirms that Chief Alwyn Brown is, quote, out of the office, and the assistant chief is in charge for the foreseeable future. A large majority of officers voted this week to declare no confidence in Brown. They want city officials to fire him or ask him to leave. Last year, a consulting group found that the department had low morale and a toxic work environment. Union leaders say the same problems still exist.
The federal government is going after car makers that signed a deal with California on emissions standards. The Wall Street Journal says that the Justice Department has launched an antitrust investigation. DOJ lawyers are looking at whether Ford, Honda, BMW, and Volkswagen violated federal laws on competition. Back in July, the companies agreed with California to abide by more stringent emission standards than what the Trump administration had proposed. Governor Gavin Newsom directed this tweet at the president: "I know this is your go-to these days, but no fake science or math will change the fact that California's vehicle emission standards will save Americans billions while preserving our air. Stop threatening car makers and trying to roll back our rules."
And already facing scrutiny from the feds, states are now joining together to put the heat on two tech giants, Facebook and Google. New York State is leading a coalition of 8 attorneys general from both parties, including California. They're looking at whether anti-competitive practices are what led to Facebook's social media dominance. The new probe adds to similar ones launched by Congress and the federal government. Just last month, Facebook was slapped with a $5 billion fine by the FTC for violating user privacy. No comment from Facebook yet. Meanwhile, Google is taking similar heat from state law enforcement officials. Texas and as many as 40 other states, including California, are joining an investigation focusing on Google's digital ad business, which generated a whopping $136 billion last year. Google said in a statement, quote, "Google services help people create more choice, and it's, of course, right that governments should have oversight to ensure that all successful companies, including ours, are complying with the law."
And 15 Democratic senators are calling on Facebook to stop posting firearms for sale on its marketplace. The senators, including California Senator Kamala Harris, sent a letter to CEO Mark Zuckerberg. They're also demanding information about how Facebook polices gun sales. Now, last month, the Wall Street Journal reported that sellers of firearms were posting guns for sale on Facebook, sometimes disguising them as posts for gun cases or empty boxes. A Facebook spokesperson says the company has made updates to Marketplace since that article. She says the company is also evolving its automated system and retraining human reviewers to catch violating content.
And a lackluster jobs report is adding to fears that the economy could be headed for the skids. The new report for August shows that the economy added 130,000 jobs, and that's short of Wall Street's hopes and well below July's numbers. Still, unemployment remains at a relatively low 3.7%. President Trump pointed the finger at Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. He tweeted, quote, "The Fed should lower rates. They were way too early to raise and way too late to cut. Where did I find this guy, Jerome? Oh well, you can't win them all." And today perfectly coincides with the start of college football season. It is National Beer Lovers Day. And according to nationaldaycalendar.com, Virginia colonists brewed beer, and George Washington recorded a recipe for brewing beer in his notes. So whether it's an IPA or PBR, you can celebrate the day and note it on social media with the hashtag National Beer Lovers Day.
Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday.